Welcome into the Hong Kong Fusion Podcast with your hosts, Dave, Jack, and Tyler.
What's going on, everybody? Hong Kong Fusion Podcast, Wednesday, October 25th. Sadly, a day after no more baseball. I know we said we're not talking about it, but this was a baseball podcast, so we have to talk about it a little bit. This is now no longer a baseball podcast. In
It was a good
3,
run.
2, 1. Go Birds. We're back.
We are back. I would like to give a shout out to Nick for filling in for me last week. I was at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal last Wednesday. It was around this time I was eating a corn dog that had a plethora of ingredients on it, including like truffle sauce, and I'm looking it up, so I can talk about it soon. Wish I did this before.
That's all right.
But
We're doing it live.
If you told me to guess what we would talk about to start this podcast, it would have been 5 millionth on the list would be corn dog ingredients.
Truffle sauce.
So it is a Korean style corn dog. Truffle mayo, arugula. So good.
Why are we talking about this?
We said he didn't have an intro, so I figured we'd start with corn dogs.
Yeah, I mean, truffle sauce and arugula. Sounds like
arugula
good.
Isn't that just a garnish?
It's like
Yeah,
isn't
it's
like
like a
really
lettuce
soft
garnish.
lettuce, like really like flimsy lettuce.
As
Yeah.
opposed to the really
Yeah, as
sturdy
opposed
lettuce.
as opposed to like an iceberg.
You can build bridges out of that.
It was based off of it was a theme, The Last of Us, the TV show. It was supposed to be like what they would eat or what they had eaten. I don't remember
yeah.
seeing that.
That makes sense.
I don't remember seeing that either.
They
And
would
I watched
batter
that all
and
the way through about
fry
5
hot
times.
dogs and then put
With all the
garnishes on.
ingredients they have.
Good to know. I'll have to. That'll give me a reason to rewatch. You know, I haven't watched it in
There
a
you
couple
go.
of weeks. Waiting for season 2. Yeah. Pedro Pascal, what a hell of an actor.
Very good actor.
Well, we have crossed off corn dog talk. We've crossed off truffle sauce and arugula talk, and Pedro Pascal talk. Is there anything else here before we get into the football?
I don't know. You want to keep delaying and stalling the first segment, Dave?
Not particularly.
Oh, okay. Well then, no, let's move on.
Matchup preview.
I was very much hoping to beat Tyler last week, or at least get one win somehow. Didn't do that. Went 0-2. Really love where I'm at. Yeah, once again, my team scored 0 touchdowns. I truly don't understand how that happens. I still put up 130 points. Oh, AJ
Well,
Brown scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
I digress. Anyway, continued the streak of having a terrible running back on my bench score over 20 points. 2 weeks ago it was Zach Moss. This week it was Gus Edwards with an 80-yard reception. He's so bad that he didn't even score a touchdown on that play.
Seems impossible.
Yeah, and Tyler could have traded for him for nothing last week and could have had 6 bad running backs on his bench.
I was gonna say the trick to avoiding these blow up weeks on your bench is to just have worse players on your bench.
Yeah. Well, you
It's
checked
true.
that box, but you had better starters than me, particularly Alvin Kamara, who's apparently the only offensive player on the New Orleans Saints. And Lamar finally decided to play well.
I mean, that's a little unfair to Lamar. He scored like 5 points higher than his best game.
Yeah, well, everyone has their best games against me, so I can't say I'm surprised.
Who do you play this week?
I played Jack, which
You might escape Tyreek Hill.
I
apparently.
may. How you feeling about that little news blurb today? Did not play with a
Wasn't
hip
thrilled.
injury.
Yeah, he scores like 25 points on a bad week, so I'm gonna miss that if he doesn't go.
When I read
But
that, I was immediately thrilled because I have Jalen Waddle. And then I continued reading that sentence, and Raheem Mostert was also part of that injury report. And then I was immediately sad.
Yeah, it's a
yeah, I
tough
think
look
he
for
has
the
an
Dolphins
ankle.
today.
So came to Philly and got beat pretty bad, I guess.
Yeah, I think their feelings are hurt more than any of the parts of their body.
Could be.
That's true.
I mean, I'm sure they would both qualify for a Veterans Day off. Maybe they're just listing as a hip injury for him. So we'll see. But yeah, for those of you consuming this on the YouTube channel, Jack now has that truffle doused corn dog with the little
Look, this doesn't look good.
arugula as
Was it
his
good? It doesn't
background.
even look good.
What? Have you ever had a corn dog?
Yeah, you don't need anything else on them. You just need
That's true.
cornmeal and a hot dog.
It was
What
good.
what a simple food that is just so good. That's America for you.
Got that right. So I beat Kyle by the most points this week in the
Yeah, you
league.
did.
He had a Mike Evans touchdown at about like 1:30, and that would be it for his touchdown scoring. So
I know that feeling.
yeah, so I had a good game out of Addison on Monday night, which I didn't even need, but I'll take it because it looked promising for the young man. So I don't know. Was it
You sure
pretty?
did.
I wasn't too tuned in last week because I was in, Florida, but the boys got it done, and we are on to week 9 or week 8 with duck sauce in first place.
Yes, we are. Man, tuned out for a week, spanked a person into renaming them this week. Doesn't even know what week it is. And I'm sitting here in 9th.
So, 2 things real quick before we move on. One, Jack, did you want to reveal Kyle's new name live on the podcast? Have you decided it?
I have not decided it yet.
Ugh,
I
that was a letdown.
That was a letdown. I had a thought, but
Producer Joe, cut that.
that piece.
Second, I'd just like to say, I think it must have been preseason. It was post-draft, probably the first episode, when we selected who we thought was going to make the playoffs. Neither of you selected me, I don't believe. I selected all 3 of us. And Dave, you are letting me down.
We were very wrong on that.
Uh-huh.
I will say that Kyle and I both got beaten so badly that we made a bomb of a trade
Oh, yeah.
yesterday morning. I
trade.
traded Kyle Cooper Kupp. I traded him Ramondre Stevenson. And I believe someone else. And I'm
You guys
forgetting at the
kicker
moment.
swapped.
Oh, we kicker swapped. Yes, correct. Main pieces, I gave him Cooper Kupp and Ramondre. And he gave me Austin Eckler and Jalen Hurts. So I, for one, am not thrilled playing the quarterback game each week. So I'm happy to lock Jalen Hurts in my lineup. Kyle may or may not know this. He still may not because I don't think he listens, but I definitely sought him out and offered him Cooper Kupp because we play each other week 10 and Cooper Kupp's bye is week 10. So that'll just make me laugh when he does realize that.
My first,
and/or wins.
yeah, still wins in week 10.
He probably will.
So,
Cup won't
do you have
recover, though.
any? Do you have any feelings about your Kyler Murray practicing in full today, the day after you trade for Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, looking at schedules, Jalen Hurts bye in fairness is also week 10. And Kyler Murray would have Atlanta at home. So my hope is that I can just continue to keep Kyler Murray on IR until then if they don't activate him, and then plug him in for week 10 and punt him off the bridge after that and ride Jalen Hurts, hopefully to not the Sacco. But yes, could not drop Matt Stafford fast enough. Open up a roster spot now for Taysom Hill. So that feels great. Can't imagine ever starting him, but here we are.
I think it's a good start.
QB.
Oh,
he's been
interesting.
Strangely good.
The problem is, the reason why I went in on Kincaid over him, those were the top two for me, is Juwan Johnson's practicing again.
Yeah.
We know who Taysom Hill is. Like,
we do.
Ceiling game.
He was getting
Although
so many, he was
game, I
getting
guess.
targets. He was actually being used
Ridiculous.
as a tight end. Plus, he has the ability to run and/or throw.
I don't want to talk about the Saints.
No. Certainly not going to talk about Chris Olave being arrested.
He was
played
arrested?
for the Saints.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, speeding.
Oh, yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
That's a non-story.
What a
Move
clown.
on.
Hopefully he can't post bond until after Jack and I play this week. Or
I'm gonna be without
maybe
Hill. I'm gonna be out without Hill, Olave.
I'll tell you
What
what, if you're
else?
waiting for the Chris Olave breakout, now's a good time to start him because, like I said, everybody has their best game against me.
Go in or goal on.
All right, go in or goal on. I picked one player from each of our teams. We'll kick off with Mark Andrews. Had about somewhere between 4 and 6 catches pretty much every game this season that he's been decent. We're going 6.5 catches this week at the Cardinals. I will go in a full reverse jinx move.
I will go in a not reverse jinx move. I think he just does that.
Oh man, hope you guys are right because I think that's a goal on. They're really spreading the ball around. That's the only reason I say that.
Yeah, but eventually they're going to remember who they're throwing the ball to.
Eventually.
That's true. It's only going to take
It'll be this week. Yeah.
Another couple of Rashad Bateman drops for them to
they're gonna
remember.
be like, oh, Bateman and OBJ? Oh yeah, no.
All right, second one, going Jalen Hurts. Practiced in full today. No threat of a knee injury. Get all injury vibes away from my team. 2.5 total touchdowns for Jalen Hurts at the Manders. I'm going in.
I'm actually gonna go on this.
Same.
Of course you are.
And I'm taking the second division game. It's like traditionally lower scoring. So now it'll be like 45-20, and Rich will have 6 touchdowns. But I don't know. Hopefully they run the ball.
Yeah, that's my take. I think he's
With
gonna be
running
fine. I
back.
just think the touchdowns are gonna go to running backs. For him to get 2.5 through the air isn't impossible, but I feel like it's to get 3 touchdowns is likely he's gonna run one in, and I think because of this knee thing, they're probably not gonna do that.
What if I were to have said 2.5 tush pushes?
I would go
Probably go in.
Smashing the over. All right, this one should be fun. T. Higgins coming off the bye at the 49ers, who apparently can no longer win football games. 11.5 fantasy points for T. Higgins.
I'm going to go in.
The agony.
That's awesome. I enjoyed that.
hmm
I'm also
I mean,
gonna go in.
Yeah,
It's not a lot of points.
it's not, and he will not be in my lineup. I think he actually has a good game. He's not going to be in my lineup.
Coming out of the bye.
Right. That's the I think coming out of the bye, this should be the healthiest Joe Burrow's been. And I think the Niners are going to try and take away Chase, and that's 6 for 60. That's
Not that much.
yeah, and he'll catch those 6 passes on 26 targets. So
I love it. We're 3 for 3 there. Good game for T. Higgins coming out of the bye. All right. Well, that one's fun. T. Higgins might need to be a staple in that every week. We'll see if we
Really
can
does.
see if we can convince Tyler to start him one of these days, or trade
At
him
least
away
somewhere in the
to
show.
someone. Yeah, he might need to write in our bylaws. T. Higgins name drop at least once. We'll see if he comes up in Jeopardy here. Coming up next.
Fantasy football trivia.
I do love that Jack thrives off of the trivia drop.
It's a good one.
I know it's his
It's my
favorite.
favorite.
I know my boy. All right, we have got a Jeopardy board. Nick said he studied up for Jeopardy last week and just didn't happen. So now that Nick's gone, we can play Jeopardy.
So we're
We have a
seeing
visual
we're seeing all the
error.
questions right now.
Now you're not.
There we go.
We'll edit that out for the audio.
Can you edit my eyes?
Yep.
Did
did
you read
see
any of them?
answers?
I read one.
No.
I don't think the
I
answers
don't
were
think
there,
I
were
saw
they?
answers.
No, the answers were not there.
Okay, sick. All right. Well, a Jeopardy board. We've got letting greatness slip away, finding greatness, team standings, and touchdown city. And let's go Jack for the first clue here.
Of course.
Okay. Let's do touchdown city for 100.
Wait,
All right.
my hand
This definitely good at football tight end scored his first touchdown of the year in week 7. A game winner to take down a division rival.
Damn it.
Jack in there.
Mike Gesicki.
You're damn right. It is Mike Gesicki. Mike G.
Mike G.
Scored a touchdown for us in a shared league, which felt really fun. And then Tyler dropped them this morning because he was angry the Phillies lost. Now we're done talking Phillies. Jack, still you.
Touchdown city for 200.
All right. This quarterback has thrown 2 or more touchdowns in 6 of 7 games and is alone at the top of the passing touchdowns column this year with 16. Jack.
Cousins?
It is Kirk Cousins. Well done. Kirk C. All right. Keep going.
We're rolling. Touchdown city, 300.
There were 3 QBs that accounted for 4 touchdowns last week. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and this player. Anybody taking a shot here?
No.
That would
Didn't
be
watch football.
Gardner
Oh, yeah.
Minshew.
That's right.
2 passing touchdowns and 2 on the ground. Jack, still on you. We going 4?
Yeah.
All right. This running back is 3rd in rushing touchdown with 7, behind Raheem Mostert, who has 9. CMCO is 8. Tyler?
Is that Travis Etienne?
It is Travis Etienne. Well
Wow.
done.
Dude,
I
I'm
was
pretty
gonna
sure
say David Montgomery.
he scored 2 touchdowns each of the last 3 games, I think.
That is also correct. You do not get any extra points for that little nugget, but
Well,
way to be tuned in there, Keith.
let's just close out this column.
All right, 500. This player leads all players with 19 total touchdowns. Next highest player has 16. I will say, if it wasn't obvious based on the number, this is a quarterback. Jack?
Jalen Hurts.
It is not Jalen Hurts.
No.
Jack down into the negatives. Tyler, you can take a shot here or just let Jack self-sabotage.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, any off-the-record guesses? Not point impacting by either of you?
Josh Allen would be
It
next.
is Josh
Oh,
Allen.
wow.
Yeah.
All right, that concludes Touchdown City.
Went poorly.
Tyler, on you.
Let's do letting greatness slip away for 100, please.
All right, this player, the current RB10, saw 1 carry for 3 yards in week 7. Tyler?
Who is Bijan Robinson?
Of course it is. Shout out to Arthur Smith. Can't stand him.
How did you? Why
Almost
did you see?
illegal.
So like, never mind. I don't want to disrupt. Let's do 200, please.
This player was leading his team in receiving yards after week 4. Since that time, he has a single catch for 4 yards and has accrued a total of negative 1.7 fantasy points. This was a bit of a narrative after week 4 about how little targets this player had compared to others on his team, but yet was still leading in receiving yards. I'll go 3, 2, 1. It would be Marvin Mims, Denver Broncos wide receiver. Had a
Hopefully does
negative
not have a lot
11-yard
of
rush
fantasy
last week.
points. Yes, he did. He's about to be dropped.
Yeah, I figured that Jack might know this just because he's rostering him, but
I forgot.
yeah, you also forgot to drop him. He should probably be dropped. Well, they
The
might trade
keeper-
Judy to the Colts, so
Yeah, the keeper dream is what is on.
we shall see. Ah, yes, the keeper dream. Goodbye, Anthony Richardson. Tyler?
300, please.
After beginning the year as the wide receiver 16 and 10, this player has not finished a week inside the top 24 since. Jack?
Tutu Atwell
Is not Tutu Atwell.
getting crushed.
Ty?
Who is Calvin Ridley?
It is not Calvin Ridley either. As Devontae Smith.
Oh.
Get it together.
Come on, boys. Tyler, you're still in the positives, though. Score
Time to
update.
rally.
200 for Ty. Negative 500 for Jack.
400,
Ty,
please.
where are we going? All right. After averaging 72 rushing yards in weeks 1 to 3, this player has failed to hit 50 since and is averaging under 3 yards per carry in that same span. This is an NFC
Yes.
running back.
I have the thought that confirms.
Well, you are negative 500.
Yeah, I don't. Now I have another name in my head. Don't want to.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Any off the record guesses here?
Is it Tony Pollard?
It is a good thing you didn't buzz in. It is not Tony Pollard. It is Brian Robinson.
Oh, wow.
He was not one of my guesses.
Manders. Not likely he hits 50 this week against Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis because those boys are big. Ty, you
Big
finishing it
boys.
off?
Sure.
All right, letting greatness slip away for 500 after a rookie season in which he scored 7 touchdowns and had 5 top 24 weekly finishes. This wide receiver's top finish this year has been the wide receiver 28 and is the wide receiver 61 overall.
My goodness.
Sophomore wide receiver. Drafted fairly high. Had some high hopes. 3, 2, 1. This is, Tyler buzzing in last second.
Who is Garrett Wilson?
It is not Garrett Wilson.
Ah!
Jack, taking a shot?
I am not.
No. That would be Jahan Dotson.
Wow. I didn't think he did as well last year.
For some reason, I kept thinking of Treylon Burks, but he's got to be like the wide receiver 161.
Yeah, I don't think he's at any top 24 or even a top 28 finish this year. All right. Rough category. You're both letting greatness slip away. Let's see if we can turn it around.
All right.
What's better than finding greatness for 100, please?
Let's find some greatness and get back into the positive. After a 7 for 123 and 2 performance on Monday night, some would say he is him when talking about this rookie wide receiver. Jack.
Be Jordan Addison.
It would be Jordan Addison. A layup for 100.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's find more greatness.
All right. Finding greatness for 2. After finishing as the wide receiver 70 in week 2, this player has exploded. His weeks 3 through 7 performances got him onto a list with Megatron, coming just the second wide receiver in NFL history to record at least 125 receiving yards in 5 straight games. Jack, you were in there first.
What is AJ Brown?
That is most certainly Arthur Juan Brown, the third. I don't know if the third is correct, but wasted another performance from him this week. That felt good. Couldn't even hit the median.
Keep it rolling.
All right. After an injury kept him out of week 5, this wide receiver came back in week 6 and posted the wide receiver 1 overall finish against the Buccaneers.
I don't even know who they played.
Three, 2, 1. This is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What was
No
him?
points lost.
So this wasn't this
right.
past week. That's why I got confused.
Finding greatness for 400.
Week 6 tie. Finding greatness for 4. After finishing as the wide receiver, running back, 71 in week 1, this player finished inside the top 12 in 4 of the next 5 weeks and is currently the RB6. May have taken advantage of an injury to another player, a lesser player.
Really struggling this week.
You know him well. This one is Swift.
Yeah.
Pretty much irrelevant.
Ew.
Kenny Gainwell got all the touches. RB6.
This is
Who would've
on
thought?
the Jeopardy creator here.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's 400-point question. Can't be layups.
We're both negative.
Watch more. For 500, this player has finished as the tight end 6 2 weeks in a row, recording 11 catches for 99 yards and a touchdown over that 2-game span. Here's a hint. Be quick with the button. Oh, Jack.
Taysom Hill?
It is Taysom Hill. Yes. Very good.
Yes.
I was going to say, be quick with the button. Hint coming. The touchdown was a rushing touchdown. There we go. All right. You've got the final category, team standings.
All right. 100.
All right. Starting off easy. This team's lone blemish on the season was a loss to the
Shit, I'm
Jets
not on
in
the
Week
button.
6. Tyler,
It was the Philadelphia Eagles.
you are correct. 200.
Sure.
This team remains the only winless team in the league and will look to get their first win this week coming out of the bye. Jack,
Carolina Panthers.
that is the Carolina Miles Sanders, who practiced in full.
300.
After starting 2-0 on the road, this team has been obliterated in both of their road games since with a minus 42 point differential. One of those was last week. Three. Oh, Jack.
Detroit Lions.
It is not the Detroit Lions.
Oh, no.
Still positive. How you want to take a shot?
Both.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
It'd be the Miami
Hmm.
Dolphins. Lost by 14 to the Birds
Yeah.
last week. Lost by 28 to the Buffalo Bills a few weeks ago in Buffalo. All right, keeping it going for 400. In Week 6, the team became the only team ever to have more rushing yards, more passing yards, fewer interceptions thrown, fewer fumbles lost, and fewer missed field goals than their opponent, but still lose. I did not make this the $500 question because I put this in our group chat after it happened. I was hoping that one of you would hold on to this knowledge.
I remember reading this.
That is remarkably impressive.
It really is.
Wait, no.
Anything?
In Week 6.
Super sloppy game.
I raised my hand.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead.
Who are the New York Giants?
Yes, the New York Giants. We are all tied up with a whopping 200 points going
I
into the
feel
final
hungover.
question. See if anyone can distance themselves here. This AFC team is currently the only team in its division outside of the current playoff picture. Jack?
Who are the Cincinnati Bengals?
It is the Cincinnati Bengals. Very nice. Ravens, Browns, Steelers all would be in the playoffs. Season ended today.
I almost
right.
guessed the Patriots. Then I don't think the Jets are in.
They would not be. No.
I thought it was the Chargers. But then I remembered that the Broncos are in that same division.
Remember that Russell
And the
Wilson
Raiders.
exists and plays quarterback for them. All right. Well, score update. Jack's got 700. Tyler's got 200. Seems like Jack has this one locked up unless he makes some grave mistake with the points wagering.
I'm not even going to
But
play.
gentlemen, the last category is consistency is key. Feel free to DM me your point wagers before we get into the question here.
There's no point for me to play this.
All right, on to the question then. Tyreek Hill leads all wide receivers in games with a touchdown with 6. Rookie wide receiver Jordan Addison, who has 5 games with a touchdown, is tied for second place with this wide receiver.
Thank you.
That feels like enough time to either know it or not know it. We have any guesses here? Y'all can just say it at the same time. Or maybe don't have a guess.
I'm not playing.
Jack, you got anything?
I don't think I don't think I do.
All right. Well,
If I had to guess, I would say Stephon Diggs.
it is not Diggs.
Can I make a stupid guess?
Absolutely. This will be fun.
Never mind. I don't even want to do it.
No, say it.
I was gonna say Jacoby Myers.
No, it's not. He could be close. This is former Dynasty love of mine.
Oh, Cortland Sutton.
We just acquired him today in a shared league.
Man,
Portland Sutton
Portland
is correct.
Sutton.
That is not something I thought we'd be talking about at this point. The reason why he's on this list is because I dropped him because I didn't want the headache. My players don't score touchdowns, so he's not on my team. He's scoring touchdowns every week. But good job, Jack. Take it down Jeopardy. Jack wagered 200, so he finishes with a whopping 5. And we're on to DFS. Whenever the producer can find the drop. There it is. Here it is.
Shout out producer Larry.
It's
Can't
playing
hear the
for
drop.
You only.
Let's see now that guy.
And I'm
There
not,
it is.
not sharing sound. Just shared the end of the drop there. That was DFS Showdown drop, everybody. Shout out to Satan
Your first showdown.
and the producer. Thank you very much. All right, while I pull up my lineup and remember who I'm playing, recap of last week. I was not good. I think I scored the lowest any of us have ever scored in DFS. It's in the 60s.
Woof.
It was a bad week overall. I think, Jack, did you win with like 96?
Did I win or I thought Nick won?
He may have won. One of us
Yeah.
won with
I was
something
feeling
in the 90s.
so good because I had like the same amount of points as you guys through the first the 1 o'clock games, and I had like 200 more minutes to go than both of you. I was like, I finally did it, and then I didn't do it.
And
Oh, never mind, you won. Tyler,
upon
you
further
won.
review, you did
Oh,
do it. You did the
I did
thing.
it.
Yeah.
And you cracked 100. There must have been like some points scored right at the end of the 4 o'clock games that I did not see. So I feel like I came in pretty late and looked at it. But yeah, Ty, you had 103.56. And I had 69.
Nice.
Jack and Nick finishing there in the middle. But we'll have to producer Joe, if you could get us a counter of the season long, be fantastic.
No, I've lost once. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Who paid up for quarterback this week?
I'm raising my hand for those who are not watching.
Yeah, as am I.
Derek Carr, who'd you guys pick?
Wow.
He's gonna have an all-star lineup otherwise. I went with
My
Lamar.
goodness. I went with Patrick Mahomes against Denver.
Better.
Mine's also more expensive. At the running back position, I went with Derek Carr's only target of Alvin Kamara. And in an interesting move, I went with Isaiah Pacheco, stack with Mahomes. Feel like it'll either be a running game or a passing game. No clue who's going to catch the ball, and didn't have enough money for Kelsey, so I'll just figure however they get the points, I'll get them.
It's a weird strategy.
Well,
And we're playing for
So-
second.
I have the same exact running backs.
You really well.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I stacked.
That means he's going to
I
have some
stacked Kamara.
hammers at wide receiver.
Stack Kamara, baby.
Yeah. I went with CMC and Mixon.
I hope Mixon does well. I might have to start him this week because Aaron Jones did not practice today.
You should probably draft guys who don't get hurt.
He is the bane of my existence.
Dude,
He
Legitimately.
definitely just isn't. He just doesn't want to play.
I had him last year, and this was my experience.
Dude, he's on the Deshaun Watson path of medically cleared and just not playing.
He would have a blow up game. He's like, oh, he's the best player in football, and then he'd score 4 points or not play.
Yeah. In my flex, I have Aaron Jones. I'm kidding. At wide receiver, I have AJ Brown, Deontay Johnson, and Jaden Reed. Better than Romeo Dobbs.
I feel like I did a bad job because I also have AJ Brown. I have Christian Kirk, and then I have Josh Downs, the syndrome, running it back.
If you don't have Kelsey, you did something wrong.
He's gonna have Kelsey and CMC in his flex.
Probably.
I know how he operates.
I don't know how.
So this is crazy. I have no overlap so far. My receivers are Addison, Zay Flowers for the stack, and then Kendrick Bourne.
That's sneaky.
I almost went with him. What did I do wrong?
Jack's now realizing he has $7,000 left over.
I don't. I only have 200 left over.
All right. Well, why don't you give us the rest of your lineup there?
I bet your flex is much better than our flexes.
That's gotta be
definitely true.
I have Breece Hall on the flex.
Yeah,
confirmed.
And then I have Jake Ferguson at tight end.
What?
Do you have the Eagles defense?
No, like I don't know.
I have like half of the same lineup as you, and I paid $3,000 more at quarterback.
I have no idea. The Packers defense.
Wow.
I'm gonna need a screenshot of that because the math ain't mathing on the salary cap. I have Darren Waller at tight end against the Jets.
What did I do?
We do once again overlap though. I have Jake Ferguson in the flex going the double tight end build. Going the double tight. If y'all don't think I'm fucking playing for second, I've got the double tight end with the quarterback running back stack who doesn't catch passes. I've got the Vikings defense against Green Bay.
Oh, so finally
opposite of Jack in that game.
Wow. I have the Doctor in as my tight end. And the Vikings defense, which I think they've been playing a lot better since Flores decided not to blitz 70% of the time. It's not a joke.
Picked off Purdy twice.
Yeah. So I had to have garbage in my flex, and I went with Gainwell, who may see an uptick just because of a Hurts knee, and I don't know. They still like to use him even though he's not good.
If you told me Jack's lineup was 43,000, I would not. Think it's wrong.
This is the least I've ever had overlap with someone.
Yeah, normally you've got like at least 3 or 4.
That might be really bad for me.
It's really good.
It's good if I'm trying to be, to have live players, but if you guys both pick people that you think are going to do well and I didn't, then that might not be good.
Well, Jack only used 80% of the fund, so you might be fine.
Did you guys use extra money?
No.
Yeah, I put in when I made the contest this week, I gave me and Tyler an extra $3K.
Read your salaries real quick.
All right, so Carr was
still don't know where you spent money.
5,500.
It's got to be Christian Kirk was 5,900 and Downs was 48.
Not even that much.
No.
And Breece Hall was only 59.
What?
I don't know. Kamara was 73. AJ Brown was 8.
Are you reading what's in front of you or not? Is basically what Tyler just asked. Just making stuff up.
I think
honestly, I think you just went with the all good
middle
players,
receivers
like strategy. Like you don't really have any bad players in your lineup, but you also don't really have like studs except for Kamara or AJ Brown.
Yeah, I have
all the same ones that you have.
5,000.
Yeah.
and 3 in the mid fives.
Yeah.
So
Tyler and I went studs and duds, and you were pretty solid across the board. So, but that was funny. I really thought you were gonna have Travis Kelce and CMC in there, but you just had regular players.
So it would all be the same if I had a good quarterback.
Yeah, true. I do feel like Tyler and I have a pretty good advantage there. All right. Well, that was DFS, and best of luck to the two of you. And I'm gonna think of a bold prediction as I hit this drop.
Bold predictions.
Will not go first.
I'll go
Well,
first. My bold predictions. Well, I just have one bold prediction. Is that the Titans
Good
win by a
start.
touchdown?
And
Just
remind
going
the
off of-
people who they're playing.
They are playing the Falcons, which
People
is
that
the
needed to be
popular
reminded.
defense this week. Because Tannehill may not play, which means it's a combination of Malik Willis and or Will Levis. And they just traded their all-pro safety. But this just, to me, feels like one of those games where why am I blanking on their coach's name right now?
Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel is going to be like, we're just going to run it forever, and Derrick Henry's going to have one of those games, and we're not going to let our quarterbacks throw more than 14 times, and they'll just win.
Could see that. That game's gonna have 0 plays ran by both teams. It's just gonna be
I was-
run, run, run.
I was just gonna say I don't know who's gonna win, and I don't know if the Titans are gonna win by a touchdown, but I can confidently say that that might be the most unwatchable game of the entire season.
Easily.
Maybe.
It'll be like 13-12.
No.
Somehow it'll be 42-39 at the
It
end of
can't
that
be
game.
13-12 because then my prediction wouldn't be true.
19-12.
There you go.
There you go.
Beautiful.
So I went with the Broncos are going to lose by 3 or less. Or win, obviously. They're playing the Chiefs. And it's second division game. I mentioned it earlier. Broncos are at home. Chiefs are riding high right now. Broncos are pretty terrible, but just think it's gonna be a weird week.
At what point does a defense that's supposed to be good just become good? That's the strangest part about that whole team. It's not
Yeah.
Russ and their receivers that are supposed to be good. It's their defense last year was like great, wasn't it?
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, they were like every time they scored 17 points, they won or something. Which
I
was
think
like
if
twice.
they had scored 18 points in every game, they would have been 10-1 after 11 weeks.
Yeah. And they gave up 70 this year.
That is a thing that happened. Current spread is -7.5 for the Chiefs.
It's less than I thought.
Is it at Arrowhead?
It is
No.
at Mile High.
Yeah, that was a dumb question. It would have been -20 if it was at Arrowhead.
A couple weeks ago when they played, it was 10.5 for the Chiefs. So
That
it's
is
kind of
so disrespectful.
the same line, but just swinging the 3 points the other way because of the location. I am going to go with the Browns going into Seattle with a backup quarterback. Deshaun Watson's already been ruled out, and winning by 7. So I'll also take an underdog by a touchdown.
I love that.
And I believe that's PJ Walker.
I just think their defense
Almost-
is so good.
Almost
Last
played him
week
in
was
DFS.
PJ Walker?
Yeah.
You would have had the money to go from Jake Ferguson to Tyler Higbee. at tight end. Somehow you still wouldn't have had enough.
This wasn't worth it.
Oh man. Well, solid bowl predictions. We will see what happens in week 8 of the NFL season. Anything else you guys want to
Google?
discuss or Google before we sign off here?
I could full circle this. Had in Harry Potter world, they had Witch's Brew and Dragon Scale is like what they named their adult beverages. They were quite good. Witch's Brew was like a dark beer that Lexi drank.
Shout out to
And
Lexi.
then the Dragon Scale was like a red ale, and it was delicious. Would recommend if you are in Harry Potter world
Which
in the near
one
future.
which one goes best with truffle sauce and arugula?
Probably the red ale, just because it's lighter.
Fair enough.
I went to the
Well-
Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair last weekend.
Oh, did you?
You didn't have to stop the music. We could have
I was
just
gonna let you
went
go. I
out
was
on
really
that.
interested.
Now
Was
to
really
say
interested
something
in
else
the-
about it.
Was really
Oh.
interested in the state fair.
it was fun. Really cool.
Did you dress up?
No, but I'm definitely going to next year.
It's like a Renaissance thing.
Yeah, it's a Ren Fair. Yeah. It was like basically like, old medievally everything going on. Food was great. Big old turkey legs. It was cool.
Did you do any actual jousting or hand jousting?
No, because Pete wasn't there. Where his face that I could hit. No. I didn't get to see that because we had to leave because of the baby, but it was fun. It's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Nice.
I've got nothing to report in terms of food reviews. This is a football podcast. This is now a Arugula podcast. And perhaps next week it'll be a hockey podcast. Tune in to find out. Go
Probably not
Birds.
a baseball podcast.
Certainly.
Thanks for listening to the Hong Kong Fusion Podcast. Send your mailbag questions to hkfpod@gmail.com, and we'll see you next week.
Forgot to hit end record.